Hi, welcome to Dawn Digs In. I'm Dawn, and I like to talk about living a happier and healthier life and things that I'm doing that you might find interest in or get value from. And today I want to dig into how the Hamelin Method has helped me in my Tracy Anderson routine. Now you may ask, why? Why are you doing both of those together? Well, there's a couple of reasons why I'm combining both of these workouts. First of all, I love Tracy. I love what it does for my body. I love the movements. I like the control. I like that mind-body connection. What I love about Hamelin is the deliberate workouts and the direction. Direction is just so important, and it is something that is just lacking in meta and continuity. It just is. There's a little bit of direction, but there is not enough to honestly tell you what you're working, why you're working it, and what muscle you should be using to do that work. This is where I have found the Hamelin workouts have come into play. Now, I keep track of all my Hamelin workouts, okay? I've been working my way through all of his free content on YouTube and on Venmo, and I have been finding what I like and what I don't like. And I have been finding that I like the non-cardio workouts. Now, this could just be me, and it's just where I am right now in my life. I just don't want to be jumping around as much. And so I've concentrated more on the toning, the webisodes, the Blismatic series, the deep series, things that are slow and controlled, and usually about an hour. Because his workouts are slower, you're not necessarily getting in as many reps. You are on some things. He's definitely into the 40 reps on a lot of things, and he's also into a lot of time things. But those things that he does, he talks to you about what you're doing, how you're working it, what you should be feeling, and where that lift is coming from. And these are things that are helping me in my Tracy Anderson journey. So as an example, so when we're doing this fire hydrant in Tracy, they just tell you to lift out of your hip and you're going up and down, okay? So you're doing 40 of these and you're not really thinking, you're just getting it done, right? But Hamelin tells you lift with your outer thigh. So, okay, I have just changed that exercise. I've lifted with my outer thigh. Lower with your inner thigh. Well, that has just made that exercise a lot more difficult to do. Also, when you do your fire hydrant and then you go into your back, he will tell you, so you're lifting through that outer thigh, you're reaching back and you're stretching and you're lifting through that hamstring. So you've transferred that back to the hamstring. Now, I don't get that direction when I'm doing Tracy. I'm going up and then I'm going back, lifting with that hamstring and stretching through my body. I am now creating that really long line and feeling that stretch all the way through my body. And that's what we are trying to get to. This is the whole point of doing these exercises. The same as when you are doing your knee bringing into your elbow. We just brought it in. We knew we engaged our abs and we brought it in. But he's telling you, use your quad to bring that up. And then again, you're stretching back and lifting with that hamstring. Like just these small little tips that he gives you all the way through all of these workouts are so helpful to knowing, oh, okay, I'm not doing that, or I'm not lifting that through enough. These are so important, and the direction is just not there. But watching a few of these workouts will help your practice by understanding what you're going to be working. You're doing so many reps, and it's so quick that you're just not being able to do that little bit of a concentration on where exactly that is. And I find he does that with so many of the exercises. Same as when you're lying down and you're doing the clamp. So your legs are at a 90-degree angle and we're lifting. Well, we're lifting here. Okay, you're opening up that hip and you're lowering with that inner thigh. Changes the whole exercise. It just does. It's an up, feel it, feel that open, and lower through that inner thigh. All of these exercises we're doing in Tracy. The same thing we're doing. We're just not hearing the actual how and what we're working on. So he will do a lot of exercises where you're coming forward. So you're bringing this front leg forward, and he will tell you, lead with that thigh. So you're leading with that thigh, and when I put my hand, I can feel that. And then you're coming out, and you're going straight down, and you're stretching through that leg. So my hip shifts, down I go. And then you're going to the back, and you're coming in, and you're going back, and you're stretching that out. Now it's transferred up into my butt. Well, when I did that with Tracy, I was like out and out and out. Like I'm doing this. Now when I'm doing with Hamelin, I'm like aware. Oh, out with that leg, in and down and stretch. and back and stretch. And I have just created a whole other length in my body. And it's really been amazing. And it's something that I'm thoroughly enjoying on this journey. Now, as I've said, you have to find what works for you. And the older I get, the more I really feel that I want to get in touch more with my body. I've always said, and this is really crazy because it's just not me, I've always wanted to do yoga. I have a friend that's really, really into yoga, and I'd love to do yoga with her, and I really want to do yoga. But yoga will not engage my brain. It just doesn't. I'm a wanderer and a thinker, and I'm like over here and I'm over there, and what are we doing? And oh my God, I'm so bored. I need something that engages me. Well, you might watch Hamelin and go, oh, it's boring. I don't like it. It's boring. It's not boring when you start thinking about what you are working. This is where the mind and body will come together. And it didn't happen for me when I first started doing Hamelin because I was doing the inch loss and the model workout, which are combinations of cardio and floor work. So you will find the wide variety in his workouts that allows you to concentrate more on your form. And this has been a huge game changer for me. Since we've been doing this 40-day challenge, I have only done Hamelin and I have only done the toning, the slow, longer workouts. They're at least an hour, but you're really concentrating on what you're doing, how you're doing it, where you're feeling it, and what the move is. This has been so valuable for me because it has changed the way I will do Tracy when I start doing those workouts again. And I want to continue to do Tracy because I do. I love that mind-body connection. I love being able to do those moves. I like when my body can go into those crazy things. But I want to really understand what I'm working. This is where he comes in. He makes it easy to understand what are you really working on? Where is that movement coming from? Where are you feeling that? And he talks about not overextending. When you're standing and you're doing a leg kickback, well, making sure that you don't get into that lower back and just raising it enough to feel that, not enough that you are hurting yourself. Or to make sure when you're doing that lift, you are lifting from that hamstring. And you're not just lifting from your foot and lifting your leg back, you're lifting from a specific muscle group. So if, like me, this is something that has been a bit of a challenge maybe on what are you actually working on and how can I improve my practice, try some of these slower workouts that Hamelin has. The HDM4, the 3.8, the toning webisodes, even the melt has a lot of different things in it that don't have as much cardio, but have a lot of direction. My favorite one is the Deep. It's in capital letters. It's on the Venmo, DEEP. Can't miss it. But you will learn so much about yourself and your body and what you are doing and what you are moving. And if not because you want to start a new workout, do it for education. Do it to understand what you're really doing and how it can help you in your workouts. I still plan on doing a consultation. But before I do a consultation, I want to do every bit of free content that I can find so that I really have a good list of what I'm doing and what I like and what I felt. So every time I do a workout, I write it down. So I did HDM4. I wrote, wow, lots of Kalinetics, legs and butt, full body, arms are amazing. So HDM4, look it up. Give it a try. See what you think. But learn about that concentrating on different muscle groups. Same as our arms. I could go through each muscle group and talk about how he does it that makes me more aware. Where in Tracy, when I find I'm doing my arms, it's like everything's fast, right? Everything's moving at light speed. So Tracy has you're doing this, right? And you're doing this really quickly. And I'm cracking and crunching, and I'm not necessarily concentrating on getting there because the movement has to be so quick. But when Hamelin has you doing an arm, he has you lifting up through that shoulder, out through that arm and stretching, coming back down with that shoulder and back down. And he talks that way. He talks you through what you are lifting. When you are lifting over your head, you are reaching up and stretching through, and you are lowering back down. So you don't just have the up movement, you also have that isometric coming back down. This is what is going to give you that nice arm. This is what is going to give you that look that you want, that nice sculpted arm, as opposed to just this, where you're really not getting that. So concentrating more on the going up, the going back, the stretching out, the feeling that into that tricep, right? The lowering and the raising, stretching out. And Tracy talks about that a lot. She does. She talks about, reaching into that. But when you're moving at light speed, you really don't get an opportunity to do it. Where Hamelin has you slower, more concentrated, and you're out, and now you're twisting, and you're back, and well, when you're doing this, it's crazy. But when somebody has you doing this, you think about it a little more. You're twisting, you're getting into that shoulder, you're moving that whole arm and that whole body. So these are just things that I want you to think about. Again, I love both of these workouts, and they are both really working for me in so many ways. But I find certain moves with Tracy, I'm just not getting the same results because I wasn't concentrating on where that move was coming from. I was more concentrating on what the move incorporated altogether. So, if you're doing a hydrant and a kick and a flip there's a lot of moves to do together where he breaks them down so they're a lot simpler and you're more concentrating on the move. As back to, the legs when you're on all four and he's got you lifting that leg. Well, he's got you with the knee turned out and he's telling you, lift from your lower thigh. I wasn't doing that before. So lift from that lower thigh. It changes that whole move. Instead of just lifting that leg, when somebody says to me, concentrate on a specific muscle, I can do that. And when you're doing your inner thigh work on the floor, this one where you're sitting back like this, and he tells you when you're going out, like you're lifting through that inner thigh, wow, changed the whole workout for me. Because before I was just doing this. I wasn't thinking, where is that coming from? Oh, it's coming from here. Okay, so oh yeah, okay, that's hard because my inner thigh doesn't want to lift that leg. My quad will lift the leg, but my inner thigh doesn't want to lift the leg. But when you switch that to, okay, that's now my inner thigh, it just gives it a whole other dimension. I have found that I am now getting some definition in my leg, which I didn't really have a lot of before because I do find, Tracy makes that tight, small body. And I love the tight, small body, but I wanted a little more definition because I find with age and when you lose weight, you end up, you've got the sag, right? And nothing's going to get rid of the sag. You could only pull skin back to the muscle so much, and then you need more muscle. So Hamelin is helping you build more muscle, but giving you a really nice definition and a really nice silhouette. And I've been really happy with where it's coming from and what it's doing for me. And I'm going to continue this for the next 20 days of the challenge. The challenge ends on May 20th, which is the long weekend here in Canada. So for the next 20 days, I'm going to continue just doing these deep core toning workouts. I'm constantly learning in my practices, constantly learning. How can I make this better? How can I make this work for me? What is the best result I can get? What does my body want? What is my body craving? And right now, my body is craving no cardio. So if you're finding that you're struggling with maybe your form a little bit in Tracy and not really too sure how to get that better or what they're really working on, pop on a Hamelin. Deep toning, a webisode toning, any of the ones that have no cardio in them. The deep one, I'm telling you, and I'm going to tell you and tell you and tell you, is one of the best. It's not a great filmed workout, but listen to him. There's no music. Listen to what he is telling you, how he is telling you to feel that, what you are looking for in your body, what response you should be getting. And you will get through these workouts. It takes a while. You're not going to get through them all immediately overnight. And again, that is something that I didn't struggle with in Tracy. You struggle with the repetitions. I didn't have a problem doing all of the reps right off the bat because I've been working out for 45 years. This isn't like I just started a workout out of the blue, right? I am a seasoned workout person. So I've been doing this all my life, so I'm flexible and I'm able to do a lot of things because I move a lot of those muscles all the time. But this has changed how I think about a lot of them. How I get into those lower glutes, how you get into that mid glute. You know, Tracy doesn't talk about that. She talks about cross vectors and lock and load, but she doesn't really talk about that you should be feeling right here, or that you should be feeling back here, or that better be over here. Like he does. He talks about all these little tiny things that I think are so important to learn if working out is something that you're really interested in. And I find it important to listen to your body. I've always listened to my body, and more so the older that I get. It tells me what it wants to do. And that's what I put on. So right now, during this 40 days, it's been exclusively Hamelin. So these small details will change your workout and change how you're progressing through your workout. I've just found it so valuable to listen to how we're doing these things, same as in your abs, right? So he talks about, getting back, engaging, get that engagement going on there. I didn't always have that with Tracy because we're moving so quickly that a lot of times you're like trying to get here and trying to get there, and you just don't get that total engagement that he likes to give you, like holding that back, getting back to that spot. And he'll tell you, I want that down here. So now you're like, oh, I need to go back a little bit more to get that. Now that you're here, I want you to raise that arm to your ear and back down. Oh, wow. Okay. So now we're going overhead. Now we're right into those abs and up over your head. And you are now super challenged at a slow pace, but you are getting a really, really, really deep workout. And you're feeling where those feels are supposed to come in. Where I didn't necessarily feel all those feels before. I got results, and obviously I was doing something right, but I wasn't getting the feels that I am getting when I do these Hamelin Deep series. And like there's many of them, right? There's webisodes, there's toning, but anything that says deep toning, like watch a couple. Go on Venmo, go on YouTube, find these workouts and watch and listen to how he describes them. The sound is not great. The music is not great, but that is not what we are there for, right? We are here to get better at our form and a better understanding of our body and how things work inside of our body. The older we get, we start to lose that definition, and it's really important to be able to keep that nice sculpted arm and nice sculpted shoulder. Try these. Try some of these workouts. Keep track of them. Write them down. Write down what you're doing, how it worked for you, what you thought. I'm going to continue to do this for the next 20 days of the 40-day challenge that ends on Friday, May the 20th. And I will talk about what my results were just doing Hamelin only for 40 days and only doing the deep toning. How I felt, my body changed, weight-wise, measurement-wise, how it felt. Do I feel longer, stronger? Just what is actually going on in my body and where I'm at the end of it. So give it a try. If you're struggling with how to do some of the moves in Tracy because you're really lacking that direction, watch Hamelin. A lot of the moves are the same, maybe not as complicated, but he will explain to you how to do them, what to lift with, what to push through, where you should be feeling it. It changes everything. Give it a try. If you're enjoying our content, please hit that like and subscribe. It really helps get us out into the algorithm and have more people joining our community, which is just so awesome because I love hearing from all of you and hearing your stories and what worked for you. Have you tried these? How's that going for you? What do you think? So until I see you next time, I hope you have some awesome workouts. You are amazing. High five.